get started, Catherine and Teresa, I've made you both co-hosts. We'll just let folks in. I want to thank everybody for joining us today for morning coffee. And just a few announcements before we get started. First, today, of course, right afterwards, we have our work group lounge. You can hang out until noon. And then at tomorrow, of course, we have our city leader call. Please, city leaders, join me to join Teresa and Maggie, not me, for the city leader call. Wednesday evening, we have not tech talk. We have the investing club. All right. So I believe Stephen will be there, but Teresa and I will be hosting that. And then Thursday morning, we have Catherine Davies with Tech Talk. Catherine, what do we got?
We're going to be catching up with it's wonderful having guest speakers to learn something new, but then we lose sight of all the wonderful things like Richard Branson yesterday. That was so flippin' exciting. I made my husband watch it about 3 times on the news, right? So so we're going to get caught up with all the tech that's been happening in the last 2 weeks, which is pretty phenomenal.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. So today, the topic is the free and nearly free tools that you could use for prospecting. And I have to tell you, I don't know about you, Christiane, but it was so much information and so many tools that you need to just pick like 4 and do a whole morning show, just a whole deep dive into each one so that people know what tools are the best. Right?
It's overwhelming. Like, you're absolutely right. Like there's a plethora of information out there. Unbelievable. And I think this is be really interesting for both of us this morning, Ivan, to co-host this, because you are the master at prospecting and using some of these tools. Guys, I know squat. I know nothing about any of these tools. So you're in for a real treat this morning, let me tell you.
Well, so before I started to do the research on this, I thought I knew more than I know. And then I realized I know squat. So in comparison to the wealth of information out there, there's just so much, right?
So it was exciting learning. So I'm excited to see where this morning takes us with everyone else's experience, or maybe not, or wanting to understand where we're going with this. So we're ready to rock and roll this puppy this morning, Ivan.
Yeah. So first of all, before we get into it, because a lot of what I discovered, Christiane, is that a lot of these prospecting tools require a CRM, right? Obviously, You're prospecting, you want to be able to track and manage your contacts and your opportunities, et cetera. So how many people right now actively use a CRM for their business? Nice. Okay.
So we've got 50%.
Esther is shaking. No. Okay. All right. Okay. So of those people that do use a CRM, what feature is the most valuable to you?
I would say being able to create a landing page, and then secondarily automatic emails going out, follow-up emails.
Okay. All right. So that whole email integration and being able to use it as a marketing a tool for deploying emails and tracking, right? Okay. Anybody else? Sherry.
I actually find I use Hubspot, and I actually find the ability to set up landing pages for events or particular things that are happening. I want signups for a newsletter or any of that kind of stuff. So I find the landing pages. I totally agree with Chris though, but the landing pages is another feature that I find helpful.
All right. Yeah. And with that, Sherry, the control that you have over what you put out there also through those landing pages, right? I mean, you can do this pretty simply yourself through HubSpot or any other tool, right? Okay. Anybody else? Anyone else that actually uses a CRM? What?
I use one, but I know I don't use it for its full potential, although it's my marketing list. So like my newsletters and events when I'm doing stuff like that, but I'm sure I should be doing a lot more automation with it. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to just give you the definition of the CRM, and then Christiane is going to give us our first top prospecting tool. So first, CRM basically it helps you to gather information and I say intelligence, and just basically allows you to track or store your interactions with your prospects and your customers, et cetera, right? So, it's really good, especially if you use it properly. If you train yourself to use your CRM properly, then you can always trust and rely on knowing when you spoke to somebody about something and what the discussions were about, et cetera. And also what stage your prospects are at. You're not going to lose any of that information. I remember before I started using the CRM, it was kind of wild. I would have so many discussions with so many people, I forgot which prospect I had what conversation with, right? So having a CRM kind of helped keep things kind of organized. Okay, so Christiane, you're up.
So I'm up. So when I was doing my research, I ended up by picking 6 free sales prospecting tools. Now, my understanding, Ivan, so correct me if I'm wrong, when you use Bumble and Hubspot or
yeah, so
Hub, right?
Right.
Now
so
they're not free though, right?
Right. Okay. So to clarify, yes, I use Bumble, but just Bumble Biz. Okay. I just want to make sure that that's completely clear. Okay. Not Bumble Date. Okay. All right.
I told you this would get interesting.
Come on now.
This morning.
My wife is on the call, so we're going to keep this clear. Okay. Bumble. Yeah. So Bumble Shapr, SHAPR, is another tool I use, and that's done really well for me as well. And of course, HubSpot is my CRM. Go ahead.
Is your CRM okay? So basically, these 6 kind of top. I'm going to say top because I'm not sure of anything else. If there's anything better than that, but sales prospecting tools, you can automate the research work. You can set alerts for information. You can validate the email address, and they guarantee that it's going to save hours in your day. So with that premise in mind, so the first one is called Apollo.io. Does that does that resonate with anybody?
I've heard the name, but I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, it's a prospect reacher that helps sales professionals find prospective customers at companies across the world. You can use a lot of filters in there as well by industry through a lot of the industries. And then the second one was Find That Lead.
Nice.
That's ringing a bell. Find That Lead is another one. Google Alerts. Who here uses Google Alerts? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Right. So that's there. Hunter is another one. Mention is another one. And Scrapp, SKRAPP. Again, all similar through the research. I mean, they're all lead searches. There's email verification features. Google Alerts, of course, has the content change detection and notification tools that can help research and qualify prospects as well. So, I even had to give some thought to this, Ivan, about like, would I use this? Like, and in my bit as a wedding officiant, and I have my customers, but I'm not so I don't know that I would use it to the extent that I would be doing any cold calling necessarily, but I'm intrigued with wanting to really delve a little deeper into the research to kind of see what elements in all of these pieces will actually branch out and help us to kind of, increase our customer base.
Right.
Or is it the communication? Yeah, Catherine?
Google Alerts. As a prospecting tool, I've only used it for articles so that I could keep relevant articles going, for information. But how do you use that as a lead? Is there a
Yeah,
certain-
you know, it's the only way I can see it working as a lead generation tool is that if there are prospects that I'm looking to have a, play a long game on, some of the sales cycles are very long because the type of customer it is. You might want to then stay on top of their press releases, et cetera, so that
Oh, okay.
so when you have that conversation with them, you know what they're doing, right?
Well informed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of, I think it's a lot, like you said, Ivan, it's a lot of the keyword searches, right? That you want to track the keywords based on their blogs or their articles, news sites, that kind of thing that would then lead you to prospects, I guess, right?
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, okay. You know what, Christiane? So you touched on a few things because in these tools, and I pulled them all up here, and I'm kind of looking at them. It's so funny that you picked 5 or 6 that I didn't pick, which is nice, right?
Oh, isn't that cool?
So we both did the research, and we both
Yes.
came up with completely different tools, which tells you the total. There's such a huge number of tools out there that you can use. But before I get into my 5 or 6, I just want to say how incredible the technology is right now. That back in the good old days, a CRM was a database that you just entered in things into, and that you can go in there and add notes and track the customers. And then I remember when it integrated with your phone. Remember where the phone would ring and it would automatically pull up the client's account in front of you, and then you could just enter in information. That was kind of sexy, right? But then now it's integrating with your social media, so that's nice, right? So now it's tracking things through your social media and able to give you information. I mean, Sherry uses HubSpot, so she probably remembers the very first time that she entered in a customer, a business, and all of a sudden it just pulled in all kinds of information about them, not just from their website, but from their social media. And it gives you all kinds of intelligence. And you were like, whoa, this is cool, right? But now this technology has gone even further. Now it's actually reaching into other applications, other platforms, and Google itself just pulling in information from everywhere. So that's really neat. And of course, the more information that you want, usually the more you pay, right? So with that said, I'm just going to talk about prospect.io, right? And it's like that first one there that you mentioned, Apollo, right?
Apollo, right.
So basically, it gives you the basics, and these are the basics that I find that people use. One is, your contact management, right? You want to be able to put your contacts and your prospects and your customers and everything else in there, and make notes and keep track of what kind of wine they like, when their birthdays are, all that stuff. You want to keep that information in then your workflows, right? So things that you're going to, that any projects or especially when you're bringing in your teams and you're all working on different things for the customer, it's nice to know where you are in any sort of project, your productivity, deals, in the prospects you have in your pipeline, your reporting, being able to crank out your monthly reports, etc. This is kind of nice, right? So prospect.io starts at $19 US, right? And it goes as high as $226 US a month per user. Okay, so that's kind of expensive, right? Now, Sherry, using HubSpot, that it starts free, right? It starts free, but it grows pretty fast. You could be paying thousands of dollars a month for HubSpot, but it gives you some pretty crazy tools that you can use. So Prospect.io, just as a platform, I like it. It's good. I've not used it, but just looking at it, and I've done the research on it, it seems pretty solid. The other one is Ninja Outreach, and that's ninjaoutreach.com. So that's $299 a month. But this here is a tool that if you're looking for influencers, you hear about influencers, right? If you're looking for an influencer to help you, push your brand, and usually they're really pros with social media. So they're basically social media marketers, but they're also folks that have a large following themselves and can help your brand to get out there. So this is what Ninja Outreach does, right? So it says here that it gives you access to 76 million Instagram influencers. I'm not sure if that's correct, but it's on their website. So there you go. Access to 8 million YouTube influencers, 10 million TikTok influencers, 95 million business emails, and 6 million bloggers that they can have put you in front of. And of course, I mean, you're paying the money for them to you can go in and do a search based on your industry, and it will pull up a number of options for you that you can reach out to, and I guess see if you can then, I mean, you're paying, Ninja Outreach, but then you also have to pay the influencer, right? So, but if you're looking for somebody to help you in a certain industry, then this is a good place to go. The other one is Buzzstream. So you know what? I've got a link here. I have to figure out now. Let me just grab this, and I'm going to actually. Okay. Stop. Okay, so I should have had that set up from before. Okay, so I'm going to just share screen for I think it's only a few seconds here. So so we generally get the general idea, right? So here's this tool that you can add it as an extension, and when you go onto any website, it gives you intelligence on that website. So let's say that there's a specific company that you're looking to reach. It'll scrape the information and put it into in a simple way, and then it gives you the little button to say add it to the CRM, right, to the Buzzfeed CRM. Imagine that now you don't have to go, okay, let me type this information in here, that next field. You just basically hit add to CRM, and it adds it. Kind of cool, right? These little tools that they have. All right. That is so that's Buzzfeed. That's Buzzfeed Buzz Maker, and it basically it helps you to build your little black book, they say, right? So you can add websites, people, and links to Buzzstream, make notes, discover contact information without ever leaving the site. So you can do all this while you're still looking at the site, which is kind of cool. Another one is Quora. How many of us use Quora? I mean, we've all seen the site, right? We've all experienced the interface before, right? Quora, Quora. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. So
like I get all these crazy people asking all these crazy questions.
that's right. Thank you.
It gets confusing. It gets really confusing, but it's a business or even
depending on the feed, absolutely. There's some crazy feeds on there for sure. But the thing I like about it is that people are asking crazy questions, right? So today I actually went in and I did a search on Quora for websites, right? So I just typed in websites and up popped, I'm gonna actually share this again with you. So so in the search for websites, up popped, all these but here are the threads that are out there. So how can I increase traffic on my website? What is the best way to build your own website? How do I build a website? All these questions they're asking, which allows me to just go in and respond. I'm not going to say, don't do it yourself, save yourself the stress, let me do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually share some information with them, and hopefully that will lead to building trust, and hopefully they'll respond to me and say, hey, you do this, let me help you out. What's beautiful about this is that you can search any number of topics, and there are threads for everything. Believe me, Quora is full of all kinds of really crazy stuff, and it's a nice place to go and actually respond to people. So Quora is a great lead generation tool if you're willing to play the long game. But I know that all of us have experienced where somebody asks a question on one of these in a thread someplace, and you answer it, and immediately it leads to a sale, right, Sherry? So, you know, and these things happen, right? So you definitely want to add this one to your list. And then the last one is, well, of course, HubSpot, which we spoke about. The one thing I like about HubSpot is, Sherry, do you use the little code that goes onto your website? Did you insert?
I don't currently, but I have used that. Yes, it's kind of handy.
Right. So what happens is when people come to your website, you know, HubSpot gives you a little code that you just stick into either the footer, right? On if you're using WordPress, you just go into the footer and you stick it in there, or in the head tag. But anyway, that code tracks everybody that comes to your site, and it knows their IP, right? And if it matches up with an IP of a known business, it'll give you the name of the business, and then it'll give you all the intelligence on the business that it's pulled in from other places. So, you know, when I go into HubSpot, it'll say, oh, ABC company visited your site, and here's their contact information, and here's the guy's name who runs the place, which is kind of neat, right? So I like HubSpot for that reason. It's just simple tools. And by the way, HubSpot at this level is free, and they actually have a forever free plan, forever free. And this is part of that forever free plan, right?
So Ivan,
no,
go ahead, Sherry.
Just really quickly, that coding trick, they have the same thing for your email, so that if you've got your customers in your email and you link it to your Outlook, it will actually track the email. So if you know that you're emailing, you know, following a chain of discussion, it keeps track of that in HubSpot as well as in your Outlook.
That's pretty sweet.
Wow,
that's part of forever free, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's included in the free version.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, there's very little that's not included in the free version, to be honest with you, right? So it gives you enough that you can and a number of users too you could add to it. So that's kind of neat. So HubSpot, there you go. Now there are other apps out there that also generate leads for you, right? So you know, Lead 411, Zoom Info, Drift, Data.com, Clearbit, and LinkedIn Sales Navigator. These are all tools that you could use for small businesses, right? I mean, bigger businesses, there are other tools out there, but for small businesses, these tools are there, and they're also really inexpensive, right? So this is how I'm going to sum this up, right? If you're a small business, and let's say that you need, you know, you're not adverse to making cold calls, but you don't mind doing the hard work, but you want help. You want to have the regular surprise, right? Where a lead comes to you. Then I would suggest just picking 4 of these and just play with them and see how they work for you. You've already done the work. You've created a website, right? That website is having people come to the site. Let the website give you some intelligence on your visitors, right? You know, Google Analytics tells you when people are on your site and where they're coming from and where they're going and all that stuff. That's great. But Google Analytics doesn't tell you the name of the company and the person who runs the place, right? So this is where some of these tools, it's nice to be able to use them. Your thoughts, anybody?
So Ivan, so I'm curious. So you've been using Hotspot.
That's
HubSpot.
right.
That's it. HubSpot. Okay. So you've gone in and you've got some information that somebody or X number over the weekend accessed or checked out your site. Walk us through, what do you do next? What do you do next with that information?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, that's a really good question, Christiane. So I'm going to tell you in an ideal scenario, okay?
Yes.
That's a guy who's diligent at responding to leads that he gets through HubSpot, okay? So if I was diligent, this is what I would do. I would immediately send him an email saying, hey, listen, I just wanted to thank you for dropping by our site, and I want to make sure that you got the information that you're looking for. if there's anything that I can do to help you, if you didn't find something, or if you've not found a service provider to provide you with whatever the services you're looking for, then please reach out to me. I'd love to have a call with you. That's it.
Right.
Right. That's my introduction call. Right. If I don't hear from them, I might bug them again in 2 weeks. But if I don't hear from them in 2 weeks, I'll just wait until they visit me again. Now, I believe, I'm just guessing, that if I were to send that email, they're probably going to blow me up. But what if they come back to my site? What if they revisit the site after they get that email? Then that's a phone call. Now I'm going to call them. Hey, listen, is there something I can help you with? I know it sounds a little creepy. That's why they don't install this stuff with dating apps, right? Hey, you looked at my profile. You have time for a chat, right? But because it's business, why not?
Yeah. But because you see, what's important with all of that piece, I think, is if we're going to do the research and try to find one that works for us, is now the important thing that I got out of the research, the things that I was looking at is, what do you want to do with it?
Right.
That will be the success of the one that we choose works best for our little operation, right?
Right. Okay, so, and that's a really important point. So, we all have gone out and gathered business cards and then not done anything with them, right? We've all done those things, right? So this is where you need to have an idea of all the things that need to be put in place. And you only need to do it, you only need to set the structure once, right? So every time that you get a prospect, what is the process of dealing with that prospect, that business card, that person who says, call me? What do you do with that, right? There are so many businesses, when we speak to them, they come to us and say, hey, I need some marketing because things aren't working. How do you handle leads? And a lot of them don't have a strategy for handling leads, right? What about your strategy for user experience? Well, we don't really have a strategy for user experience, right? Okay, so this is where we just need to look at it and put people through that process, but stick to it, right? So there's consistency in what you're doing. You have to action every lead until you hit critical mass, until you say, okay, I can't take on any more business, then you need to handle every lead, right?
Yeah.
In a way that works. And the last thing is, we want to be treated and managed the way that most people want to be treated and managed. So how do you, if you hand a business card to somebody because you really want to connect with them because you want their service, right? How do you want them to respond to you? In 3 days? In a week? Never? In 15, how do you want to be treated? And if you put all of that down and then you build your policies around that, then chances are it's going to work out really well for you, right?
That makes sense.
I had a coach recently, a colleague, that sort of blew my mind because his process was actually that you sign up for, you go through his funnel, right? The way that you normally would, and then you book a one-on-one session, which typically is the way most consulting and coaches will work. Mm-hmm. And so once you've gone through the funnel and you say, okay, well, I want to book it, you get his Calendly link, which we all use, and you book that time. And then he calls them right away, like that.
That's right.
And I said, why do you call them right away? And he said, well, they just took the time to book an appointment. And I know that something's on their mind right now that made them book the appointment.
Right.
If I have time, why wouldn't I just reach out to them? And I said, so what kind of a response do you usually get? And he goes, it varies. Sometimes people are annoyed because they're like, I booked an appointment for whenever. But for the most part, people are very responsive to it because their expectation was beyond met. And he says, you know what, I'm going to be heading out of the office in a couple of hours for the rest of the day. And I didn't want to leave this. And he said, so many people say that alone made me feel like you valued me.
I'm important.
I know I'm in your sales funnel. I'm not dumb. I know I'm in your sales funnel. So the fact that you followed up that quickly really made it seem much more relevant and much more important that you actually followed up with me, one lead. So,
Right.
I mean, that doesn't apply for everybody, but just it was a really interesting conversation. Kind of surprised me. I thought it was a great idea.
You know what, I'll tell you with me, but I can see when people sign, obviously, on This Great City. If someone signs up on This Great City, we get their information, I get their phone number, et cetera. They'll tell you that sometimes I'll phone them immediately and while they're still in the process of signing up, they get a call from me. And I've never had any of them say anything negative, but they just feel like, okay, well, I'm just going to sign up and I'm never going to hear from you guys, right? But when they get the call immediately from someone, right, they tend to really, love it. And it just seems to just add this feeling of importance. You're important to me, that you're actually going to get a phone call. And it's not like one of those, customer service rep in a CSR, in a hive of 1,000 of them. It feels much more authentic and like you care, right? So you have a real conversation with them and just, how are you doing? I just want to welcome you aboard. If there's any questions that you're having, and by the way, how was your experience, et cetera? Like, these things are really important to make people feel like I matter, right? This is kind of different, right? I'll just say one thing here. Think about your industry. A lot of us are in a business where there are thousands of people who do what we do, right? Right, Catherine, Sherry, like this, a million people that do what we do, right? So you think about it, most businesses default to a platonic way of dealing with customers. There's this way that is in the sky that they just figure that that's what they got to aspire to. But what that usually does is it strips out the individuality, the personal attention, right? The way that people just want to see that there's some sort of an authentic human being in there that you're dealing with, right? They don't want to know that when they spend their money with you, then they're now up against that kind of wall of unapproachable corporate whatever it is, right? So if the others are doing that, then it doesn't take much for you as an individual to make a difference and have them have a different experience, that they're going to want to deal with you and they're going to want to share you with other people, because your behavior towards them makes it viral, right? You become a viral, people want to share you. So this is what you have to aspire to when it comes to these types of things. So yes, Christiane, when you get a lead from a trade show or from leads.com or whatever it is, right? You need to have an onboarding a contact process where I want to thank you, right? And then an onboarding process when they become a member, become a client, and then another process, at the end of a project or whatever it is. But there needs to be something that's really well thought out of how you're going to deliver your customer service. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting. You're actually leading right into that, because as I was doing the research and looking at this, all of a sudden something else came up and it said, let's explore the tools required for additional sales prospecting objectives, because it doesn't end with just here's the sales prospecting tool. What are you doing afterwards? And 4 main things that they talked about. Again, this is now yet another conversation, but they talked about scheduling software, meeting software, lead management software, and lead nurturing software, which is exactly to your point. So it's the process end to end, right? That we as soon as we have someone that's interested at whatever level, figuring out the level and then doing something positive with it.
Yeah, sorry, a prospect of mine was telling me that one thing that he does, there's so many apps out there that do different things, that he's getting really good at having 5 or 6 apps that he really trusts, that he knows what they do, and he refers those apps to people. He's not an affiliate of these apps. He believes in those apps, and when he's talking to people and he finds out the struggles that they're up against or what challenges they're having, he'll say, "But have you tried this app?" because they try the app and they like the app, because he knows the experience that they're going to have with that app, they tend to go to him for the other service, which is completely different than whatever that app's about, right? So because he's just built trust, you're building trust because he gave you an opportunity to do something that really doesn't give him any benefit, right?
Yeah.
You see that, you go, yeah, that sounds like a cool guy to deal with, right?
Mm.
You know, marketing it comes across in different ways, because marketing is about communication. And what you communicate by doing something like that is you communicate that I'm a pretty cool guy and I'm going to put you first, right? And it might not have a benefit for me. Anyway, so if folks, listen, any other questions about lead generation tools? And by the way, I love that song, Catherine. That's a great
Yeah, that's
song.
cool. The sound
For a
effects were
ringtone.
free today too.
That's right. Yeah, I do want to quickly go around the room and just have us introduce what we're doing. I know that we have David's here and Chris is back, and nice Esther, nice seeing you again. But this week, let's see. Last week I asked what we needed. Well, let's do that again this week. Let's just go around and just say, what do we need this week? If there's something specific that you need this week from people, let's see if we can help you guys out. All right, and we're going to start with Sherry, because you're in the top
Good
corner.
morning.
So you're first.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm an applied neuroscience and cognitive behavioral coach, consultant, and corporate trainer who works with small and medium-sized business leaders on creating short-term strategic plans, help them with the habits and systems to consistently carry out those things. And I have a specific niche around working with people who are ADHD or those who are simply more distracted and disorganized than they would like to be. I would like to connect with people in the next week who are interested in learning about, not necessarily ADHD, but people who are interested in learning about what mindfulness actually is and why they need to know how to do it.
Awesome. Hey, Sherry, I do have a question, of course.
Yeah.
Small businesses, I mean, you must see patterns, right, in the types of struggles that small businesses have, and the things that are not easily coachable, but things that coaching will save time and frustration. What are some of those things that having a business coach will actually be practical as far as helping? I know, shameless plug, I know, but go ahead.
Yeah, I love it. I think for most people, there are a couple of very specific components. So first of all, it's your strategic plan. So what is it that you want to accomplish and what is the sort of path to get to those objectives? And then it's your tactical plan. How are you going to get there? What are the things that you need to do to get there? And then last but not least, it's your people plan. So how are you engaging with the people who are part of your organization, your business, your customers, your colleagues, your team members, your industry experts, and how are you sort of building up the relationships that you need to have? And so all three of those are particular areas where most people need some kind of support.
Yeah, I believe it. I do believe that, Sherry. I believe it. Everyone here is quietly saying, amen. Okay, we're going to go to Chris.
Chris says, hey, Sherry, just as an FYI, your interview on YouTube got 46 views, and my podcast hosting software for the audio file says that you got, where did it go now? 42 downloads, I believe. Yes, 42 downloads, the audio file. So that's 80 or 90 views and listens. So congrats.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. That was very fun, by the way, Chris. We had a blast that day.
It was fun. It was a good interview. If anybody else has something to discuss with the trucking industry, reach out. We might be able to do get you on the show. What do I need? Probably focus. is what I need this week. As things start to open up, there's opportunities for me to get back out and see clients. And honestly, I'm, without using the F word, I'm lazy.
Okay.
I've gotten into the habit of showing up here at the office and doing stuff that I find interesting that generates no revenue. So
Wonderful.
part of it, quite honestly, is my age. I mean, shit, but I have an ex-wife and I still need revenue. So, okay, Catherine, was that too much?
Oh, you always tell it like it is.
I
You know
love
what you should do, Chris, is how should drivers interact appropriately with long haulers? Or
With-
drive like you get those B trains and you get those dump trucks with the pup trailers, and it's like, how should we properly interact with them?
I'll tell you, it's still a valid statistic that 71% of fatal crashes are not the commercial driver's fault.
Agreed. I believe it.
You know,
Yeah.
I believe it.
Until I had a guy who did nighttime transport that did B trains when they were just allowing B trains at night, tell me, if I can't see you in my mirror, which means you have to be X amount of feet behind me, then you're an ant, because I don't know you're there.
That's right. That's right.
And I was a professional driver.
Yep. Okay. Well, you know what? That's a good one. Especially that accident just recently on the 403. You know, something crazy happened there. Anyway, Christiane, you're up.
Hey, I'm up. I'm Christiane, and I'm doing a multitude of things, but this week I'm doing nothing. So thank you very much for asking, Ivan. This week I am, Chris, I want to be like you when I grow up. I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to do nothing this week. And I'm going to go to a cottage and I'm just going to chill and rejuvenate, just get my mojo going again for next week.
Yeah, it's funny that people that usually say, I just need to rejuvenate and get my mojo going, don't sound like you, don't have the energy that you have. Typically they're worn down, but okay, Christiane, we're going to
they sound more like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, eh? Hey, margarita for me, please. Margarita, please.
Oh, Christiane, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
So I'm going to chill, but I'll give a lot of thought to things this week. Yes, because
awesome.
The wedding business actually is picking up.
I've noticed. I've been seeing your.
I'm seeing the requests coming in from the contact page. So yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Which is exciting for people. So there you go.
They can actually have a live wedding and not on Zoom, right?
Exactly.
Let's start planning. Exactly. That's exciting. All right, Esther.
Hi, I'm Esther Van Cuylenborg, and I live in Alberta, and I'm a podcast launch strategist. Oh my goodness, I can never say that word. I help entrepreneurs start their podcasts. So what I need this week is I'm working on some blog posts. I'm a guest blogger for a lady in, I think, Ontario or Quebec. I'm not too sure. And I guess I'm just inquiring, like, what questions do you have about starting a podcast? Like, what general types of questions do you have? So
how long should it be?
How long should it be? Okay. Should it be? Okay. I'm just writing it down. Yeah. Generally, podcasts are about like 20 to 40 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're starting out, it's about 20 minutes. So you have to get started, right? So
yeah.
And the other one, Esther, would be, what equipment do you need?
What equipment? Okay.
And what costs are involved? Because until I started mine, I didn't know that you had to pay a monthly fee for a service, for example.
Or what service? Hey, Esther, we'll go, because we're not going off the air after, because I have lots of questions that I would love to ask, and I bet Chris too. So we can take this off after and answer a lot of your questions.
Yeah, if you have time, we have the work group lounge after this. So if you have a few minutes and can stick around, that would be awesome. If not, Esther, make sure that you put your information in the chat window so that folks can send you texts or emails or whatever it is.
Thank you, Ivan. I was
Yeah,
gonna
no
ask you
problem.
to do that.
Cool.
Oh, sure. I'll put my info in here, and I'm not a member yet, so but it's okay for me to stay then?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, stick around. Stick around.
I'll stay a little bit. Yeah.
We'll give you a pass to come
Yeah,
on. To
Okay.
stick around.
Okay.
Because
That's
you
good.
came all the way from Alberta. you
All
know.
the way from
Yeah,
Alberta.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Sheila, you're up.
Good morning. My name is Sheila. I would like to think that I am here to help everybody level the playing field for others to capitalize on the any necessary spending that they already have in their life. Let's face it, we pay a lot. And most of the time we grumble about why we spend or what we spend on. So why not try and change it and level the playing field and bring it back into our court with our control. I guess my ask for this week is to connect with people who may know others who would like to get rid of their debt in lickety split time, saving them that money to be able to pocket it back for their future.
Wow.
Awesome. And I'm sure that there are people that are very curious about what how they can save money on things that they spend. So I just encourage everybody to just reach out to Sheila. Even if it's just to have an amazing conversation with an amazing person and learn about a way that you can save some money. So on day-to-day purchases. So anyway, that's my push for Sheila. Sorry about that. Okay, Aidan, you're up. And yeah, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to take it off mute there. Good morning. I'm Aidan Lefebvre. I'm the curator and owner of Grace Gallery here in Brantford, Ontario. And I just, what I need right now is, I'm like one of the other people here. I need focus. I do need to focus. We are getting back to, getting to having live events again. So I did my very first live event in almost 2 years just last weekend. So
Excellent. Yeah.
so I covered a art event out in Toronto, and I got the article going in 2 newspapers and 1 magazine so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
Aidan.
great for you, Aidan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as of Friday, you should be able to open, yes?
Yes, as of Friday, I will be able to open for my events that I would normally have. So my first Fridays will be back in swing.
Nice.
So my first Friday is going to be Friday, August the 6th. And I also have Grace Gallery Presents Social Networking. That's going to be on August the 14th. Now that one, I still have to adhere to the proper social distancing and wearing masks. And so basically I can only allow 13 in here, but the rest I would just, keep it like how I had it before and just keep it online for the rest of the people.
You could have 100 outside.
You could, yeah. And my yard is large enough that I can fit 200 comfortably social distancing.
There you
Nice.
go. And just run them through. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a nice day, I might just do that.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. Aidan, okay, I'm going to go with Maggie. Maggie S.
Okay. All right, good morning. I am a freelance writer. We all need content these days, and I can help you with that. Not everyone has the time or the inclination to do it. So basically, that's what I do. I can do articles, blog posts, social media, whatever your needs are. As for what I need, well, let's see. I could use a new foot right about now because my arthritis is kicking in. We had a party here this weekend, so I was like on my feet a lot. And other than that, a little bit of inspiration, and also just any referrals of anyone who needs writing done.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, inspiration, take a look at the screen, pick anybody. We're all pretty inspirational folks. And so are you, by the way, Maggie. Yeah. I really appreciate all the support. You attend everything. So that's great. I appreciate it. Okay. Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine Davies. I am Stony Creek City Leader, as well as run a business called Life's Emergency Training. Life's Emergency Training is an on-site first aid, CPR, and AED company. We also do a blended training as well. I guess started in last year. Somebody saw the wisdom in that, right? We help industrial and commercial HR stay WSIB compliant. What do we need? We need citizens.
That's right.
Esther, I hope you're a citizen. David, I hope you're a citizen.
Nice.
Because you're going to get benefits for free, right? As a citizen, and then the businesses that are coming on behind you will go, hey, yeah, this is a pretty cool crowd. So if everybody would go to their family or friends and tell 3 people to sign up on This Great City, okay, as a citizen, we'd appreciate it. We don't care where they live, right?
That's right.
Yep. You can see I live in I used to live in Stony Creek because 3/4 of Stony Creek is my family. So, but that's how it starts, right?
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Catherine. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to pick on Farida.
Morning, everyone. I'm an independent business owner with ACN, which stands for All Communication Network. However, we have a plethora of buffet of services where we can help people save money. So we've got business and residential services. I have guarantees that I can meet or beat your payment processing. So $250 gift card if I can't meet or beat your current credit card processing company. So they are that sure that they can beat it and give you a better rate and increase your bottom line. So every service that comes into your home or business, there's an income potential on that and nobody even knows about it. So I'm here to share the news, and I'd love to share with anybody, or if you know anyone who's looking to create a substantial sideline income, a residual income, let me know. Yeah,
Absolutely. Everybody wants to save on utilities, right?
well, that's it. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And if it's the same service but a less price, and you're feeding children in the process, it's a win all the way across.
Absolutely.
A small business as well. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, you betcha. Okay, Neil.
Good morning.
Good
Hey,
seeing you,
David.
man.
Yeah, no, and good morning to David. Thanks for joining, David. Thanks for taking up my invitation. I'm hoping that you got some good stuff out of this call today. So I'm a bit of a Pandora's box, as a few of you know, but my name is Neil Ramratan. I'm a IT consultant. That's my primary career, sort of been the last 20 years. And I focus mostly on large corporate clients, big projects that are typically 6 to 12 months long. However, I am also delving into a couple other projects, and the one main one is photography. And hopefully, we'll be able to transition into professional photography and bring that into a business that we could work with This Great City. So Ivan and I have been friends long before This Great City, I guess. So it's been a while. So, I believe in the network and what's happening, and I can see a lot of growth and a lot of people getting a lot of value out of it. And I'm certainly getting lots of value out of it too. I'm learning a lot from what other people are saying, their comments and whatnot. So I'm here to soak up as much as I can as well. But in terms of business experience and things, I can be a good sounding board. If anybody wants to bounce ideas off of me, feel free to do so. I won't.
It's a great brainstormer.
Yeah, right, brainstorming and whatnot. So Yeah, I'm definitely open to that. So if I'm on the call and anybody wants to do stuff like that, why not? I'm cool with that.
Absolutely. I'll stick around for the work group lounge.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
All right. Yuri, you're around? Where are you? He's probably selling a house right now. He's got to be closing a deal. Okay, he's not there. How about David?
Construction site building a house.
He might be.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead, Yuri.
Sorry. Like everybody else, focus is the number one thing. Because you can't be lazy and not focused, right? You gotta do both. But on a serious note, I'm looking for the investors that are looking for the cash flow. There are properties that still can provide that. We have to be selective, but there are those out there.
Awesome.
So if you're interested in it, if you're interested in investor game, just even about just knowing how it works, let me know. I can kind of go through the blueprint of how it works.
Awesome.
And we can start from there, see if you qualify or not.
Okay. Right. And then Yuri, you're talking about investment properties, not just in Hamilton too, right? You have your finger on the pulse of
wherever it makes sense. It's a cash flow, basically. I mean, the same model applies I shouldn't say whatever municipality allows for conversions and that kind of stuff. Then you should there should be no problem. Some municipalities are even offering 3 units on one, 3 dwellings on one property. So there is definitely cash flow there. There's no, I guess, again, there's no free cheese. You have to, you have to do the work and pay for the services. But the cash, like I said, we just finished one and with $500,000 mortgage, which is $2,000 and plus additional expenses, about $2,600 altogether in expenses, and they're generating $3,600. So, I mean, there might be some maintenance, some repairs, and everything else along the way, but like insurance, property taxes, and the mortgage, that's what represent $2,600. You can add property management, maintenance, and that kind of stuff, so you're still probably at less than 3,000, and so it's still $600 cash flow a month, not including your pay down and appreciation of the property.
All right.
Just an idea.
Everyone gets excited when you talk real estate. So yeah, I'm with you. Okay, so listen, we're almost out of time. I do want to get to Teresa. You there? Teresa. All right, whoever gets here first, Teresa or David.
Hey everyone.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Teresa. I'm with This Great City. I'm sorry, I play lots of hats. I'm with This Great City Business Club, as you can see behind me. This Great City as a whole, which we're always looking for citizens and members. And I'm also a partner of my agency, which is a full marketing company. And if anyone needs websites, SEO, any help with their collateral material, whether it be design or just strategy on business ideas, give us a call.
Absolutely. And also, this is the perfect time to be planning your Christmas promotions, right? This is the time to start getting that together. All right. And David, are you there? David Gargaro?
I'm here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, sorry. The reason I didn't get on, as I said in my message, I'm working on a client project and trying to listen at the same time, so I didn't want to be distracted. Deadlines, deadlines.
And there's Ivan calling your name every 5 minutes. I know it's tough. Sorry, man. So tell us a little bit about what you do and what your needs are.
Sure. I'm a content writer and copy editor. Have been doing it for more than 20 years. I basically help to tell their stories through articles, blog posts, case studies, and website content. I got the invite. I wanted to check this out. I'm not sure what to tell you what I need. I mean, everyone needs more great clients. And that's basically what I'm always on the lookout for. Like right now, this week I happen to be busy, but you know, every week is different and you have the slow times and the busy times. So introductions to great companies that need great content. That's basically what I need.
Cool. Okay. Well, make sure that you drop your information in the chat window so people can get a hold of you.
I made sure to do that. So
awesome.
You heard that part.
No problem. Good, good. All right. Well, listen, folks, I want to thank you again for joining me today. And of course, a reminder, right afterwards, we have our work group lounge. People can just hang out and chat and get work done or whatever it is. We're here staring at you to make sure that you don't do anything that you shouldn't be doing, like playing free cell or, you know, I don't know. Some sort of game, I don't know. Then, of course, tomorrow, of course, city leaders, please, we have our call at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Wednesday evening is Investing Club. And Thursday morning, we have Tech Talk with Catherine Davies. Is there a women's business club thing this week? No? Yes?
No, not till August 5th, but we are going to be live in downtown Hamilton.
That's right. That's right. And you know what else? We have our Hamilton Live networking event, business networking event for folks in or around Hamilton. It will be on a socially distanced patio. Hopefully we can still get wings, right? Wings. But we're going to be out there. We're going to try this thing and see how it works. So look on the website, thisgreatcity.com for details. And I want to thank you guys again for coming out. Thanks for the discussion. Christiane.
Hey.
Your energy, I love it. And thank you.
Yeah.
You brought excitement to prospecting tools. How did we do that?
Thank you very much. Lovely to see everybody this morning. Thanks for hanging
everybody.
in there with Ivan and I.
All right. Awesome.
Have
So
fun,
stick around.
Christiane.
I will.
Yeah,
I
we missed
will.
you. All
Bye,
right.
guys.
You will be
Chat
a
with you next
margarita.
week.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.